So at State Street Alpha, we use the test environment really to build the platform that's ultimately going to go live for each of our clients. And that's a complex process. Starts with dev environments, moves into UAT. You could think of it like car manufacturing, where you start with the frame and you start bolting on the tires and then the body and the different pieces. And our team is with that process the entire way, using a combination of robotics for testing as well as manual testing to ensure that as the new pieces get added, the car still works. So today we're using UiPath predominantly for the robotics, and the direct application is taking end-to-end test scenarios across a very complex platform of applications and services, and lifting out some of those repetitive tasks and putting them in the hands of the robots to free our people up to go deeper, to have better coverage, and to get to the stuff that they normally don't have time to get to because of the task intensiveness of manual testing. So the way that automation has helped us so far, and I'll give you a very specific use case that we found very early on in the POC part of our journey, and that was taking a basic end-to-end test scenario from start to finish and doing a time study. For a manual tester, it took 12 minutes for that one end-to-end test case. For the robot, it took 4 minutes. And it took 4 minutes not because the robot couldn't do it faster, the platform took 4 minutes to move the data from start to finish. And mind you, it's a UAT environment, so it's not a mirror with production, but incredible returns right out of the gate. And keep in mind that we run thousands of these test cases for each one of our client implementations, and we often have to repeat those same test cases. And that's just one example. Autopilot is a really exciting technology that we're very excited to get our hands on. Right now, we are leveraging the robotics aspect of UiPath and their product offering. And our vision for the team is to take what normally is done manually, gathering different inputs from all the different stakeholder groups in terms of the requirements, the solutions, the data models, the application infrastructure, release notes, everything we can get our hands on. We are collecting that and determining what the scope of testing needs to be for each of our client implementations. Some of it's standard, some of it's non-standard. So we envision a future being able to tap into Autopilot, where we can take those same inputs and have Autopilot let us know what the testing landscape looks like and actually build those test cases and the code to then be able to have our robots pick that code up and execute, all under the supervision of our team. So in terms of the speed of upgrade and release cycles, we are still early on in the journey as the Alpha platform in the market. We do have many clients that are live today, and they've gone through version upgrades, patches, hot fixes, and we've had to step in and do regression testing to make sure that we don't have degradation with any other aspects of the platform. The way that we envision tools within UiPath Suite helping us do that is actually something that we're working on with UiPath in a POC right now, and that is being able to monitor real time how end users are using the application, and then systematically creating the workflow or the steps that they take to go from point A to point Z, and then auto-generating the test cases to then be run again by the robotics within UiPath. And the reason that's important is that the primary application that many of our clients choose as part of the Alpha platform, which is an in-house tool, is highly customizable. And it can be designed one way at the start of an implementation, but once the client gets into production, those end users can actually find a different happy path. They can find a different way to execute that same thing, and we want to test the same way that users use the application. So automation has energized our organization. The people that on a routine basis were doing manual test creation, test execution, now have capacity to look at other things. And at State Street Alpha, we actually have a centralized team of people that focus on automation and help deploy that out to the different implementation testing teams. And we are seeing people excited to participate in that centralized conversation and help be a bridge between what we're incubating and what we're building and the deployment to the actual implementation environments themselves to be run.